Typically, I don't watch these kind of shows, but Baby Reindeer got your girl in the chokehold. So let's discuss and talk about it right about now. If you're new here, I'm Denise Brady. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. Make sure you like, you subscribe, you support your girl, because I need to get through that algorithm, okay? I make good videos, but you know, YouTube be on YouTube, you know, they BS. So I need y'all help. Now, okay, I typically review a lot of reality TV, but this time I'm starting to go to what I really enjoy also in relationship to reality TV is also true crime. So when I saw the internet was, you know, percolating, things were popping to the surface, I'm like, what is this that people are talking about? So of course I started watching it last night. And now initially it felt very heavy to me. I should not have probably watched this after doing a whole day of sessions, because a lot of things that came up in this is a lot of stuff I see with my clients, and I really try and bridge a gap between, okay, when I'm leaving my work at work and not taking it home. But this show kind of got me blurring those lines in my life, all right? I'm gonna be honest and transparent with y'all. It felt a little heavy at the beginning from a therapist perspective. Now, looking at these two characters, Donnie and Martha, now, to me, Donnie is a people pleaser, okay? And he ignored a lot of his intuitions, a lot of the red flags, because he's a people pleaser. And it also got me wondering, can you have too much empathy? In this show, you can have too much empathy for people along with being a people pleaser, and that will get you caught up. I want to know how many of y'all are people pleasers and have a lot of empathy. And I want y'all to share with me how that has at times bit you in the butt, okay? Because when it comes to Martha, now she was a person looking for connection, looking for something to keep her going. I don't want to say keep her alive, but just kind of like she needed something. And unfortunately, this man became her fixation. And also for him, since he had these people pleaser qualities and he saw something in her, every time he would try and like let go, the empathy snuck up. The empathy and the people pleaser in him. His own need to feel wanted, his own need to not make people upset, and that compassion. I think there's a difference between having compassion for somebody and empathy. Do you guys think there was a difference? Or are they synonymous? Because in this case, I think he could have had compassion for her, but sometimes his overcompensation for wanting to people please and make people happy got him in trouble. We saw on numerous occasions how she would just push and push and push until he got to a point where he exploded. Literally multiple times he exploded and would say, I never want to see you again. But then he would go back. That side of him that's just like, I'm upset, and it just starts to boil up. I'm stuffing all the things that frustrate me about this situation, about this person, in order to put their needs first. And now in true character, someone who already is not the most mentally stable, might have some personality disorders there. Let me know if you think she had a personality disorder. Now, someone who's mentally unstable gets caught up and attached to someone who's a people pleaser and someone who over empathizes with people, particularly this woman. Now, there was numerous occasions where at times when he was ready to let go and like really push her away, she found a way to push herself into his life and at times be his savior, to save him. We saw that at the comedy show. Multiple times she showed up and she would get irate, but before she saved his show. So then it's like, okay, it's playing on that emotion of like, I need this comedy show to work. I need to feel wanted. I want this to work. And here she is saving him. Just as much as he was saving her, at times she was saving him. And you have both these people have these unmet needs coming together, and it makes for a disastrous situation because they're both not the most mentally stable. I think Martha, she was able to clearly demonstrate that she's not the most stable person, but I think Donnie was not the best state of his life either, but it shows up very differently. And watching this as a therapist, I'm just like, wow, I wonder, do people see themselves in these characters? Are you a people pleaser? Do you oftentimes sacrifice yourself for the needs of others and then find yourself when it boils over, you can't do anymore, really exploding? Are you a Martha? Are you a Donnie? Hey, are you a Terry? Okay, because he had this secret of not wanting people to find out about his relationship with Terry, so much so that unfortunately at times Terry became a victim in the crossfire. Terry having her own issues within herself and the things of being, ostracized, and also Martha being compulsively obsessive, territorial, got Terry also caught up. Okay, now it turns out that with the popularity of this show, people are now obsessed with finding out who and where, what happened to the real Martha. Now, internet sleuths, in the age that we live in, I feel like it's only a matter of time before someone finds out who the real Martha is, what happened to her. And why do you guys think people are so curious about the real Martha? Why is it that we can't sit with and watch a TV show and enjoy that show based on the true story, the documentaries, and things like that? Why can't we focus on just that? Why do we have to always know more? I feel like we live in an age where people have an insatiable appetite. They want more, they need more, they feel entitled to more information at the detriment of sometimes themselves, people around them, and the victims, people involved in these true crime stories that we see. And so I'm wondering also about the psychological side of people who are watching this, who feel the obsessive, similar to Martha, the obsessive need to figure out what happened in real life. What do you get from that? Why are we in a generation where we are obsessed with information? It shows both sides, a dichotomy here of the cast, the people involved in the documentary, the real life people, and the audience. I think people don't recognize how much of this series, unfortunately it's a limited series. Netflix makes a lot of good limited series. I need some of this stuff to not be limited. Okay, I need follow-up in a TV show. I see a lot of shows nowadays that are limited series. One of the best ones to me, I'm going on a tangent, was 7 Seconds. That was a limited series and that was so good. Okay, that was so good. But I digress. But why is it that we just can't sit and watch the show? Why do we have to get online, look up the people, try and figure it out? So much so that the director and people involved in the show have incessantly said, please stop searching. Leave the story on Netflix. Stop looking for the real Martha. And it makes me wonder and kind of, try and think to myself also, why are they trying to hide her so much? Now, me personally, I'm not that invested. I'm not going to go look for Martha. If I was to see a news article about what really happened to her, someone found her, I would probably read it. I ain't gonna cap. But me personally, I'm not invested beyond what I saw, what I watched. Now, it's also interesting that it took him 6 months to finally speak out, to finally go to the police. And even when he did, it seemed like the police were very passive. And that also goes to sometimes police do not make it a space where people feel like they can share what happened to them, what's going on, because they know the reaction they're going to get. Like, what's the point? So I think he gave her chance after chance. That compassion, that empathy, that people pleasing really got him caught up in having this woman, I think, follow and obsess and be a part of not only his life, but people around him for so long. Now, I am only honestly on the 4th episode. Okay, this is my first, set of recaps for this show, but it has brought up so many things from the surface as a therapist, the trauma that the main character is going through. Martha, what is it about her past life? Maybe I'll find that out in later episodes, but initially watching this as a therapist, I'm like, ooh, y'all tickling my fancy here. But I do have to recognize that I need to watch this when I am in a space of, okay, I have clarity. I have the, I think, space for myself to watch this kind of stuff because it is kind of heavy. Okay, and as someone who's just watching as an audience viewer, maybe you not feel like it might not be as heavy. It's a quick watch. It's only about 25 episodes, so I'm gonna watch it pretty quickly. But I try and pace myself on watching shows that relate a lot to the work I do. That's just another way that I practice self-care. But what do you think so far? I know I might be late, or am I just right on time? Let me know your thoughts, okay? But being a people pleaser, compassion, empathy, trauma were all themes that I saw in this. And I want to know, how do people relate to the characters? Are you a people pleaser? Because of course, we can get into it. Now, if you like this review, let me know if I should do a part 2 once I finish watching it as a therapist, post the last, 2 to 3 episodes. Because, you know, of course, your girl will get into it. Now, I will see you guys probably for part 2. All right, bye.